Hello friends, and welcome to the series premiere of the newest episode here on the channel entitled Anatomy of a Movie. Over the course of these videos, I will be focusing on one of the most important elements of filmmaking, and that's the theme. It's the message or messages the movie is trying to convey. Themes are extremely important to a film because they can run the gamut of topics ranging from good and evil in Star Wars to beating the odds in Rocky. More times than not, there are usually more than one. Think about your favorite movie. Can you think of what the themes are? In my preparation of this, I made a list of all the films I wanted to do. Some of them included Pulp Fiction, Training Day,
King Kong ain't got on me,
and Rounders. But considering we just celebrated the anniversary of this movie and it is one of the greatest of all time, this was a no-brainer. It's on AFI's Top 100 list and a personal favorite of mine, not to mention it kicked off the Perfect Movie series on the channel. And if you haven't watched that, guys, go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description. I'm talking about The Silence of the Lambs. There are so many superlatives I can use to describe this movie. Perfect, outstanding, groundbreaking. The list goes on and on. The stories behind it are just as interesting to say the least, but that's for another video. This thriller is right up there with some of the best of all time, including Psycho, The Birds, and even more recently, Get Out.
I don't know where they are.
Rose? Rose! Rose, give me those keys! Rose, give me those keys. Rose, now! Now, the keys!
Now, normally, I would bore you with the introduction, who was in the film, how many Oscars it won, who directed it. I'm not going to do that, just to say that it is the last Big Five winner. Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Director, and Best Screenplay. To further the point, there have only been 3 films ever to run the table. It Happened One Night in 1939, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in 1975, and this.
I'll help you catch him, Clarice. Now, shall we begin?
The first major theme that this movie explores is psychological horror. The film delves into the realm of psychological horror, exploring the minds of both the protagonist, FBI trainee Clarice Starling, the brilliant but monstrous Dr. Hannibal Lecter, and Buffalo Bill. It examines the nature of evil, sanity, and the thin line between all three. This is demonstrated when Bill is passing the lotion down to Catherine Martin and recites the line, "It puts the lotion in the basket." Bill shows no remorse at all and thinks of his victims as subhuman, the way he was treated throughout his life. The physical trauma can heal, however the mental scars are long-lasting. Another major theme that's explored in this film is identity and transformation. Clarice undergoes a transformation throughout the film. As a young and ambitious FBI trainee, she finds herself facing not only external challenges in solving the case, but internal struggles related to her past. This can be seen by the flashbacks spread across the duration of the film. This theme of identity is further explored through the character of Buffalo Bill, a killer who undergoes a disturbing transformation in his pursuit for a new identity. An example of this is when he inserts the butterfly into his victim's mouth. Another critical theme that's played out is power and manipulation. Hannibal Lecter is a master manipulator, using his intelligence and charm to gain power over those around him. The power dynamics between Lecter and Clarice, as well as Lecter and other characters, highlight the psychological warfare at play. She is the only one that is able to figure out Lecter's anagrams.
Your anagrams are showing, Doctor. Louis' friend. Iron sulfide, also known as fool's gold.
And read between the lines of what he says. The game of quid pro quo that is played throughout the film is brilliant.
Quid pro quo. I tell you things, you tell me things. Not about this case, though. About yourself. Quid pro quo. Yes or no?
And ramps up the tension, eventually coming to a head in Memphis right before he breaks out. It could be said the reason why Lecter did not pursue her is she treated him like a human being, which he respected, even saying, "It would be fascinating to know you in private life." One of the most important themes that is touched upon in this movie is feminism and empowerment. The film features a strong, determined female protagonist in Clarice Starling. Despite facing sexism and skepticism from her male counterparts, she proves herself through her intelligence, skills, and determination. The movie addresses gender issues within law enforcement and society. This is demonstrated even from the very beginning with the scene of Clarice among all of the men in the elevator. She is shown as very small and tiny, but as the film proceeds, she grows stronger. Also, when she talks to Crawford on the way home from examining a body of how she was excluded when they first arrived at the funeral home. And finally, when she's surrounded by all of the male officers and she is able to speak up and ask them to leave. The theme of monstrosity and humanity is quite prevalent and it is on full display in this film. Hannibal Lecter is portrayed as a highly intelligent and cultured individual, but at the same time, he is a remorseless, cannibalistic serial killer. The film blurs the lines between monstrosity and humanity, challenging the audience to consider the complexities of human nature. The expertise of John Douglas, a profiler who had been with the FBI for over 20 years and is credited with what we now know as today as the BAU, or the Behavioral Analysis Unit, began interviewing some of the most notorious serial killers, including Ed Gein, Jeffrey Dahmer, and Charles Manson, among others, to help craft certain aspects of the characters of Hannibal Lecter and Buffalo Bill. This is one of the first films that a real FBI profiler was used. The final theme that this film touches upon is the fear of the unknown. The film plays on the fear of the unknown, particularly in its portrayal of Buffalo Bill's mysterious and disturbing actions. The suspense and tension created contribute to the overall psychological horror, which I spoke about earlier. Here are some of the examples. First, the scene in Bill's house where Clarice is chasing after him without knowing what's around the next corner. Next, the final time in which they speak, where Lecter calls on Clarice requesting she does not go after him.
Where are you, Dr. Lecter?
I have no plans to call on you, Clarice. The world's more interesting with you in it. So you take care now to extend me the same courtesy.
You know I can't make that promise.
And finally, as the credits begin to roll, the camera slowly pulls out, symbolizing the many adventures Lecter could go on.
Have the lambs stopped screaming?
That's going to do it for now. Stay tuned for more episodes just like these coming up in the future. The next film I'll be tackling will be the 1998 cult classic Rounders, starring Matt Damon, Edward Norton, John Turturro, and John Malkovich. Please leave your thoughts and comments down below, guys, with any suggestions of movies I should do. And finally, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button so you never miss an episode.